The logs in the background is a good look too.
Yeah, I like it. Gotta stay up there more often, I guess.
I know. Good for the pod, I
Good for the
guess.
pod. All right, we are live.
Right.
Posting on Twitter right now. All right. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Cool. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
I'm
Not
fine.
good.
I'm fine. Just peachy. Let's
The world is not crashing down around you.
no, definitely not. Definitely not. Everything I hope and dream about is definitely not crashing in front of me. All right, how's the Poconos? How's the mountains?
It's nice. You can see the logs behind me. Obviously, it's a bit of a change of scenery. So, little post finals getaway with the cousins. It's having a good time up here, doing some hiking and some fishing, the outdoor stuff up in the mountains. So,
Nice. You catch anything?
one bass.
No, there you go.
Oh, better than nothing.
Yeah. Um. All right. Do we just get to it? Get to the elephant
Yeah,
in the
take it
room.
away, man.
I don't even want to take it away. I
Do you
want.
do you want to vent about it, or do you want to like just sit here and pout and like I can try to cheer you up?
No, no. Let's get it. Let's vent. They deserve to be
Okay.
vented. They deserve to be ripped on. Um. They suck. The Boston Celtics. If that's what I'm referring to. Another utter collapse in the fourth quarter. And I just love to see on Twitter all these like, oh, this like we lost because Grant Williams poked Jimmy Butler. We lost because Tatum didn't score in the fourth quarter. We lost because Jaylen Brown can't dribble or pass. And it's like actually we lost because of all of that. We lost because all of it
Yeah.
happened. And we lost because collectively as a team, the Boston Celtics forget how to play basketball at an elite level, and their head coach it just gets his pants pulled down by Eric Spoelstra game after game now. And there's been a lot of struggle with Joe Maz. I mean, we've had these up and down playoffs. We've now lost, I think, 5 games at home in the playoffs, which no other team has lost any that are in the West or in the conference finals. And the Heat are just a smarter team. They're a team full of veterans that actually care. Like the thing with like I'm sure they care. I know they care. They better care. It's their jobs. But like show some fight. Show something. You're getting like there's points in these games where they are just getting swept on. Like it's like a 20-point run, 20-2. And they come roaring back with like a 17-3 run. That's like it's almost fake. Like the whole second half, I was like, we're up by 8. We're not like this is a game we lose. We're losing this game. And I remember sitting there watching it with my dad, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, all of a sudden, you see like the switch flip, and you're just like, oh, they lost it. It's gone. They stopped playing basketball. They stopped passing. They stopped taking open shots. They stopped driving. And like these are all kind of fundamental basketball plays that I'm pointing out on my fingers. So it's almost like you're looking at it and you're like, well, what the fuck are they doing? And I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. It's just terrible three, throw it out of bounds, drive into 8 people and try to take the layup. I just I'm at a loss here. Are you seeing anything differently, Chris? Or is this just me? Like, is the world collapsing around me? Or is this the right proper response?
I don't like. I'm trying to think of something to get you out of this,
Like a positive?
but
I was looking last night and Tatum's getting all this blame, all this crap, and there and this is what the issue is. I'm trying to get like the fan and the criticisms. They're on two different sides of my brain right now, and or yeah, they're on two different sides of my brain. I keep flipping back and forth onto which one I want to be, and like it's so hard for me to be like of course I'm gonna be bleeding green tomorrow, and there's nothing that will change, and I will sit there and I will watch them lose. I'm expecting them to. I mean, who knows? Apparently, they have a 86% chance still to win this, according to ESPN.
what?
Some garbage analysis, or maybe it was like 56, maybe not 86, but still, they're still like apparently favored to win this series, but if Tatum keeps disappearing in the fourth, and he has a great game, the rest of the game, like he was great. But he just goes through these stretches where he doesn't get the ball and he doesn't demand the ball. And you're supposed to be the best player on the team. You're supposed to be the best player on the court. You're supposed to be a top 5 player in the league, MVP candidate. Demand the ball. Jimmy Butler doesn't sit around and wait for his teammates to pass him the ball. He goes, Max Strus, pass me the goddamn ball. I'm Jimmy Butler. Like, this is Jayson Tatum we're talking about here. This isn't Marcus Smart or Malcolm Brogdon or Derek White or Grant Williams, where they should be waiting their turns and taking the open smart shot. Tatum's got to be out there creating, and I don't know why he isn't. And when Jaylen Brown's out there, it's like it's his mission to never pass Jayson Tatum the ball. It's his absolute mission to everyone loves Tatum and people shit on me all the time and complain about me and I'm always the second fiddle. So I'm just going to do it myself and be the Superman. And yeah, it makes you look like a goddamn idiot. And just like, I don't know why Tatum can't demand the ball. I don't know why there's no heart on this team. And Grant Williams, I was like actually excited when he poked Jimmy Butler. Like I was like, yeah, like let's hit some fire.
Really?
Not like directly, of course, like, he's going at the best player on the team, but at least somebody's doing something. Everyone else just looks like they're zombies out there. Like they don't even belong in this Eastern Conference Finals. Grant Williams comes in and puts on some muscle. He starts ruffling some feathers, getting people out of their seats, and no one else on the team does that. No one else. Not Smart's supposed to be that guy. He's supposed to be the dog, and he's no dog. He's a little puppy out there. You look at Jimmy
Got
Butler.
neutered.
No, he did get neutered, and you look at Jimmy Butler out there, and that is exactly what the Celtics are missing. Not even just like his scoring ability or his talent, but his mindset and his leadership is exactly what they're missing. And it's not coming from Joe Mazzulla. It's not coming from Marcus Morris. Al Horford was on the bench, giving him some pep rally, but it's Al Horford. Come on now. He's not going to be a mean guy. We need some sort of fire in here. And Jaylen Brown is like some silent, like, I don't know. My vibes are completely off with Jaylen Brown. Completely. And Tatum, he just disappears. This is like the, sixth game this postseason that we've had to talk about how he's had 0 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say is at least we've seen it before with him, where like we have the criticism is that he does disappear in big spots, but at the end of the Sixers series, he showed up.
Yeah.
and he had a horrible game 6 until the fourth quarter, and then basically won them the game in the last 7-8 minutes. And then game 7, obviously, everyone knows what happens. So we've seen him struggle and then bounce back, but that's about the only thing I can come up with right now.
Well, and
Because it's like they collectively piss down their legs.
that's the
It's like that
thing.
we
It's like
talked
a
about it last playoffs, like the third quarter Celtics,
mm-hmm.
and they still
They're
are.
back.
They
They're
still have
back.
great third quarters.
The third quarter
And
Celtics are
then the
back.
fourth quarter is an absolute nightmare. And it's every game. It
The
really is every game.
the other thing is there is just like I don't know if there's no accountability or what, but you're right. It's a collective unit pissing down their legs every time. And it is it's mind-boggling. I don't know how a team this talented where, it's down 0-2, it's not the end of the war, it's not the end of the series, we still got to play at least 2 more games, sadly in Miami, which I guess doesn't really matter. If they can't win in Boston,
Yeah. You said before Miami doesn't scare you. I
yeah.
agree. They
So
won on the road in Philly 2 out of 3 times. They won in Atlanta. They're fine there.
so they can tie they can tie this up and it could be a 2-2 series. But they actually have to want to tie it up. Like that I that's what bothers me this so much is that there's only so many times where you can make the same mistake and I can just get over it. There's so many this same mistake that we've been talking about has happened in the Hawks series. It happened in the Sixers series. And now it has happened in both of these games.
They didn't waste any time with this series, though.
No. No, they didn't even have the game 2 that they blew them out by 30 and they pretended like they're the best in the conference.
Yeah.
Again. And
Can we do it's another wake up call?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. How many wake up calls do they need? We had wake up calls in the middle of the regular season. I remember we were talking about. We were like, "Oh, they're in a bad stretch right now. Hopefully it's a wake up call." And I think I've said hopefully it's a wake up call at least 4 times on this podcast since the playoffs has started.
Yeah, it was the game 5 against the Hawks was a wake up call.
That was a wake up call.
Game 1 against the Sixers.
Wake up call.
Game
and now
5 against the Sixers.
Yep.
Game 1 against the Heat.
And now game 2 against the Heat. That's 5 times that it's been a wake up call. So, yeah, I'm in absolute disarray. Part of me just kind of wants to be over. Part of me is just because now what? We're gonna say in a magical world where I become happy, we make it to the finals again, and then we have 2 more goddamn wake up calls against the Nuggets and Jokic, or even worse, LeBron and the Lakers, and it's all this that. The other thing that sucks about the playoffs is there's 1 game a night, so everyone's focused on that game. Yes. Yep. So it's I can't even wake up the next day and try to, get my mind off of it going through social media or something. Because all I'm seeing is shit on the Celtics. And it's just first world problems.
You can't be on Twitter.
No.
I know that we're both addicted, but you gotta at least try to cut your time in half.
No, and it's
after losses.
But it's also when I go to Twitter, it's I'm using that to try to keep my mind off it. So maybe I'll go to my fraternity group chat, see what they're talking about. They can't possibly be talking about, they're fucking shitting on the Celtics. God damn it. Or it's one of my buddies at home they're talking about the goddamn Celtics losing. Jesus. So it's and I know it's first world problems. I'm sure you.
There we go. Let's put it in perspective.
I'm sure your the Wizards would love to be in this position right now. And
I would love to care.
Exactly. So
I would love to feel this fire and this complete and utter disappointment and frustration.
The one thing it gets me up in the morning. This morning,
I bet it does.
This
probably all you think about, right?
Oh, it's the only thing I think about.
Especially maybe home.
Yeah, no, sitting at home.
You got nothing. You're doing lifeguard classes, and then
yep.
All right, well, no, I just got to prepare for Game 3 tomorrow.
No, and it's tomorrow. It's all right, maybe I'll watch a movie tonight. like, and like I don't even want to watch like the Lakers series. It's like I don't want
Yeah,
to watch.
right.
It's just like I need to be focused on this Celtic shit. And the other thing is like, God, it's like every other day. It's like, all right, I gotta find what T-shirt should I wear today? Like I need to find a Celtics one. Make sure there's green on me. Um,
Find the good luck one. Have you been like? Do you remember what shirts you were wearing for Game 7?
I was in the car for Game 7, and I was wearing a shirt, but it wasn't. Oh, crap! What,
I
I
hope
don't
you were
know what.
wearing a shirt in
Well,
that
yeah,
car.
yeah, 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 yeah. I was wearing a Celtic shirt. Sorry, I don't know
Okay.
what shirt I was wearing. No, Matt. I have. It's been too many. Like, there's been too many
Because that's the
minutes.
stuff that I will like actually go back on.
The other
Like,
like that
okay, I need to
that
wear
is.
the same
I've already
outfit for this
screwed
game.
up. I've already screwed up though. Like, there's been times where it's like the tweeting with the bleed green and like the doing the Snapchat stuff. I was like after
Mhm.
game 1, I was like of the Heat. I was like, maybe I should stop doing this. And then I was like, wait, but I did it for game 7.
You can't give in.
No, no, I can't. It's just no. But there's no
You ride it
rhyme.
till it fizzles out.
There's no rhyme or reason to this Celtic. Or it's already everything's fizzled out. Everything I've already tried is fizzled out. There's no rhyme or reason to this Celtics team. Look, now all this complaining, all this bitching that's finally out in the air, they're gonna win by 15 tomorrow. I
I hope so.
yeah, so do I. But I thought like this was classic Celtics. They're gonna bounce back and they're gonna
Yeah.
take this game tied up 1-1. It's not gonna be an issue, and that's why I'm so fired up now. Is that it didn't happen?
Well, we talked about it on Tuesday, and I remember saying like I like the Heat tonight. I think Celtics coming off Game 7. It's always tough to play Game 1 of the series, especially when the other team wrapped it up in 6, even though they were at home. So Heat win that game, and I texted you, and I was like, "Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Not an
yeah,
issue.
shouldn't be
Tie
a
things up.
problem.
You're fine." They were like 8-point favorites again, and then like just silence in the fourth quarter.
That's the other thing too. Can we stop giving them these lines that are absolutely ridiculous? Vegas, I mean, I'm sure a ton of people bet on the Celtics, but Vegas
Mhm.
must be losing a shit ton of money with these Heat lines. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I want to take hell if it was a 5-point spread, I would have been like, oh, it's too much, way too
yeah,
much. So
yeah,
and of course, there's always that chance, like once they hit all their threes, they're all everyone's kumbaya. They're all winning by 15, 30, but they need to play when the going gets tough. That's when I want to see them pull through. And really, every game, like even the game 7, that third quarter was the one that put them over the edge, and after that, Philly just kind of gave up.
yeah,
So I need to see them like actually win a close game. And I don't know if they're capable of doing it.
yeah. I mean, the thing with Philly is like you go on one run against them, and they're the softest team in the universe.
Yeah,
So they just lay
they
down and
just check
die.
out. Yeah, they just check out.
It's like Jimmy Butler's not really phased being down by 15 points.
No, not at
Uh,
all.
it does feel like every game they've won
It's been a
has been a
blowout pretty
blowout.
much. Yeah.
So I don't know
Let's
what to say.
let's look at it. All right. Game 6, they won by 9, but that was the Tatum fourth quarter and the Sixers rolled over in the
That
fourth
was
quarter.
yeah. Talk about a collective piss down your leg.
Same thing for game 7. Game 4 or sorry, game 3 in the
Game 3
Celtics
was pretty
series.
close, I think.
12
But like they
points.
were in control the whole. Okay. I thought it was closer than that.
Yeah, and then like 30 something for game 2.
Yeah,
And like look at all these close like I guess they won by 8 points twice against the Hawks. But they're in control most of the time. But like, 119, 117 Celtics lose. 130, 120, 122 Celtics lose. 4-point game against Philly Celtics. Like it's anytime that the going gets tough, there's no adjustments around the Boston Celtics. And but what I would think would be if you have no adjustments, why isn't just let Tatum cook? Let him take 20 shots in the fourth quarter. Who cares? Because at least you're dying on the sword of Jayson Tatum instead of the sword of Brown or Brogdon or Smart.
Well, who's that on though? Is that on coaching or is that on Tatum for not being assertive, or is it on
I don't know.
Brown for wanting to be the guy? Because the Jaylen Brown stuff, like you can't shoot 7 of 23 and then like demand the touches in the fourth quarter.
No.
But Tatum
No.
has to be taking more than 3 shots in the fourth quarter. And
And
I'm not sure who you put the blame on. Maybe it's everybody. Maybe it's everyone at once.
yeah,
It's what you said in the intro.
I think it's just a
Is it like
collective group. Like I think it's like maybe it's like a big recipe. You know, it's all in a pot, and it's like, oh well, if I put this rookie coach in, they're not gonna know what to do in crunch time. And if I have 2 ball dominant stars, one's gonna take over in the fourth quarter who's shooting poorly and shouldn't be doing that. But
Jaylen Brown should not be ball dominant though.
no, he can't dribble. He can't dribble. we were talking about this for a year now. Ever since he's
longer than that.
yeah, that's all right. But like mainly, it's been an increasing issue within the past year.
The higher the stakes get,
Yeah.
the worse his dribbling gets.
Yes, and you know who was really good at figuring out that he couldn't dribble last year? The Miami Heat. So this year, it's like, oh, you want to dribble into 5 guys? Oh, go right ahead. I know you're giving me the ball. And I know, like, the other thing is with Tatum, is there's been, like, the past 2 games specifically, I haven't seen this the rest of the playoffs, but the turnovers in the fourth quarter where it just, like, flops out of his hand, or it's a travel, and I will say in game 1, it was kind of a bullshit travel call, but he did, like, stutter step or whatever. I have to look at it again, but when I watched the replay, and of course I was wearing green and getting, excited. So of course I was probably like, oh, that was bullshit. But anyway,
I didn't hear what the announcer said about it, but to me it looked like a pretty clear
looked like a travel. Okay, all right. Well,
I think so. If I'm remembering the play correctly, but again, I was honestly only half paying attention.
But yeah.
But let's attack 3 issues that you let in with, which first the Grant Williams stuff.
Okay.
I mean, like, why is he going head to head with Jimmy Butler? Why?
And I said this earlier, and I like at least someone's doing it. At least someone is.
I guess, but he's like the biggest boob out there.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing. Like
and then it's like it gives Jimmy the guy to pick on, and it's like,
and it's the easiest guy to pick on. Yeah, it's
anybody else.
It's the easiest guy to pick on.
Grant Williams, it's like either he's in Game 7 knocking down like dagger threes, or he's just a clown out there.
Oh, my buddy James said he's glad to see me alive because I went radio silent in the group chat.
I would have shut down my phone.
Oh yeah, no, it was done.
A long walk.
There's been a lot of nights recently where it's been like, oh, I got to go to bed at 11. I got it done. All right, sorry, you were talking about Grant Williams. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. He's the worst possible guy to have Jimmy Butler constantly go after because he's probably the softest guy on the defense. That being said, I don't know if Jimmy Butler really needs that much motivation to score points in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. So I think the whole thing is overblown. It's just a bad look, and it gives like the world something to laugh about.
I think
which is never fun.
That's exactly the take. That's the take right there, where it's overblown. It really didn't matter that much.
It's not like a real reason why they lost.
Yeah, but it is literally something you can point your finger to and be like, well, maybe if that clown didn't do that, then like one of your especially like I'm sure the casual fans that are out there watching the Eastern Conference Finals, they probably didn't watch, and maybe they didn't watch a lot of the Celtics. Maybe they watched them last year in the finals and saw a little bit of Grant Williams, but don't know what he's all about. And you just see that dude going at Jimmy Butler, and you're just like, ugh, what is this clown doing? And he just has, as you said, he's a boob.
Yeah. And that's like entirely based off appearance.
No, yeah, exactly. He's personality wise, I think he actually gets people fired up and is a pesky defender. if he wants to be. But when he's getting outclassed like this so easily, it it's not a good look. Because if you're gonna poke Jimmy Butler, you gotta play like Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
You gotta be good. And he immediately
It was
folded.
the biggest talent differential of 2 players on the floor,
Oh yeah, and it was
like,
and they're
including
like,
everyone on Miami.
yep. And like they're sitting
He used to
there,
work.
they're sitting there. Well, and as you said, it's probably the worst Celtics player on the court versus the best
Yes.
Miami player on the court. And
Yeah.
they're sitting there head to head, like two Rams bucking each other.
Yep.
And like my dad just looked at me and goes, "This is like they look like idiots. Like they look so
They
stupid."
do that. Well, that's what fights are in the NBA now.
Yeah, because
Just
they
like
can't do anything.
if you touch heads, that's like, oh, wow, it's going down.
I kind of
We
wanted to
really
see him.
don't see any brawls anymore.
I'm not gonna lie. Like if I was ready for him to just get suspended out of the game. Like Grant, let's throw a punch. Like let's get out there. Let's
But if he does that, then it's like, all right, well, he's standing up for his guys, I guess. Now he's gone. Now they're fired up because
yeah,
he's gone.
exactly, because he's gone.
When he's still out there, then he's just getting targeted
Yes.
over and over again.
No, that's
Which
exactly
is
what
the
happened.
worst possible
Yeah.
outcome.
That's what Jimmy did immediately was
Yeah.
let's go attack him. And the best part is afterwards. So Jimmy immediately goes at Grant Williams into his body, gets the layup, does the too small pose.
Yeah, that hurt.
The announcers are having a laugh. Everyone on Twitter's having this big old grand laugh. And I'm sitting there traumatized. And then Grant Williams decides, I'm going to go get a layup of my own on Cody Zeller and Caleb Martin. And then I'm going to do the too small sign. Like, bro, you did not do anything to Jimmy Butler. You did nothing to him. Please do not, like, make it worse than it has to be. And
Yeah.
now that I'm thinking about it, I wish he punched Jimmy Butler in the face. Like, I'm talking Draymond Green, Jordan Poole style.
That probably would have been the best course of that, or the Nene headbutt.
Oh yeah, they're like going at it with each other, just douche. That would have been awesome. It would have really
Like twist his arm or something.
and like even if we lost, we've been like, well, I mean, yeah, but Grant Williams kicked the shit out of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
let's-
right.
Yeah, like let's
At
go.
least you can hang your hat on something, and you
But
didn't
no,
completely embarrass yourself.
No, but that was the thing. He completely embarrassed
This was an
himself.
embarrassment for the Celtics because Grant Williams hit Jimmy Butler. But like the Twitter world and the fans will be like, no, like that was a win. That was a moral victory at least.
Yeah,
But this was the furthest thing from that. But back to the original point, which was it didn't actually affect the outcome of the game, I don't think.
no, I don't think so either. And he wasn't like it's not like he played terribly. He had 9 points.
No, yeah.
He didn't shoot terribly. It's weird. Like I don't understand. Like now all of a sudden, so his minutes. I'm gonna read off his minutes in the past, couple series. 0, 3, 0, 8, 12, and then 23, 29, 4. And now yesterday he had 26. So it's like they're just like Joe Maz is literally just trying to figure it out. Like he has no idea. He has no clue
It's funny. You're like,
what to do.
it's trial and error, but we're in the playoffs now.
Yeah,
82 games to figure
yes.
out who your
Exactly.
best pieces are.
Exactly.
But when that rotation gets cut short, it's a lot tougher.
Well, and like, where's Derek White in the fourth quarter? Derek White has been playing. He had a bad series against the Sixers, but he's been having a pretty good offensive series, and just not there in the fourth quarter. He's a reliable 3-point shooter. He's great on defense, and not there fourth quarter. Robert Williams literally didn't miss a shot last game. And is he out there in the fourth quarter? No. Not until the very end, for some reason. And I love Horford. Absolutely love him.
What's up with Al?
Al's old. Al's old. That's what's up with Al. He needs a day off. Can't be playing every other day. And why is he out there instead of Robert Williams? He had 2 points, and he's playing in the fourth quarter over a guy who literally did not miss a shot. And I know half of them are
Yeah.
dogs, but still, did not miss a shot.
He's more
Uh,
of a presence inside too, I feel like.
he is. Smart. Smart's just gonna be smart. Like that's like I don't like. There's nothing else to really say about it. Like, he's just gonna be smart. But God, just disappointing game. I'm exhausted.
Okay.
I,
I could have
that's
gone on longer, but I don't wanna push it.
all right. What's your next point? All right, bring something else up.
Well, the Tatum stuff.
Actually, wait, you're right.
I
We
don't
got to get through all the points that you were gonna
yeah.
mention. All right, what's
I
up?
don't I can't make up my mind about him because the criticism has been like, "Oh, he doesn't show up for the big moments, and he's soft, and he's, like, not assertive enough." And then game 6, he shows up. Game 7, he has, like, one of the best game 7s ever. So it's like, alright, he completely changed the narrative. And then this game last night, it's like completely disappears. And I think my concern now is that when things start to go well, then he's like all in and he's that guy. But when they're struggling, then it's like he just kind of fades, like the Homer Simpson
Yeah.
fades back into the bush. And then it's like we need Al Horford to start hitting threes.
Yeah, it's really a weird predicament because as someone who's, watched almost every game this season, and I couldn't tell you what has been the issue. Like I and last year, and he's 25. And I know
Right. Yeah.
that's not young, but it's not like he's 32. It's not like he's 30. And uh, he hasn't I guess it's like he hasn't really had to lead the team. Last year's Ime, who's really leading the team. He's always had Jaylen Brown as his
But last year,
co-star.
still, he was objectively the best player on a team that won the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
So it's like he's been there before,
I know, and you'd think it would
but
stick in
he
his
still is
head.
like uncomfortable. But
I
then
don't
when he plays well, he looks so comfortable. So you just want to like grab him and shake him. It's like figure it out, dude.
No, yeah,
Like
you want
who
to
are
look at him
you?
and you go, "Yeah, exactly."
Who is the real Jason Tatum?
Yeah, who
You don't
that
know.
it's a great question. Who was the real Jason Tatum? I couldn't tell you who the real Jason Tatum is because I've seen him have, you know, game 6 14-point quarters where he's the man. He's controlling everything that happens on the court. And I've also seen him when he's struggling shooting still be the presence on the court. I remember we were talking about that in some of the finals games last year where I was giving my guy credit because that's what I do. And we it was one of the games we won and he still didn't have a great like points percentage. Jaylen Brown was, leading the team in points and stuff, but he was still the motor of the team and he was controlling the game kind of like a point forward, like what LeBron does, or Jokic at a different degree, where his hands is on the ball all the time. And in the past 2 games, he's standing in the corner, not doing anything. And
Hmm.
not only not doing anything, it's like everyone's passing it around. Nobody's passing it to Jayson Tatum. And it just doesn't make any sense where it's like I want him to touch the ball every play, every
Yeah.
offensive play. That's not an over exaggeration. It's not a hyperbole, nothing.
No, every possession he should
Every
have the ball
single
in his hand.
possession. And the fact that that's not happening, as you asked earlier, I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's on him. I don't know if he needs to figure something out. But he's been through enough wars where he should be able to figure this out. And it's baffling. It's baffling.
Because and like it would not be surprising at all if tomorrow night he comes out, drops 40 points, and hits the game-winning shot in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Well,
And
no.
then it's like,
Well,
all right,
all right. So that would be surprising to me. But if he comes out and he drops 40 and they win by 15, that would not be shocking to me at all.
it's because the close game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I just I don't know if it's the pressure. I don't know if it's the stakes. But then
But game 6 on the road facing elimination, and he comes out and he hits like 4 threes in a row in the fourth quarter.
I
Like that's
know.
pressure.
I know. It's the highest pressure. It's exactly what you look for,
Yeah.
and then it just fades away. So maybe they just maybe they're the backs against the wall Celtics. They can't, maybe they just can't be the favorites. They just have to be
Maybe. Yeah.
they just
Maybe.
have to be underdogs, and they have to be on the brink of losing it all for them to show up.
It's a weird situation, but
I'm not
I don't
gonna
know.
lie,
I
I'm
think
really down on Brown.
I don't blame you.
He's just looked horrendous.
You're right. The vibes are off.
The vibes are
He I,
terrible.
he pouts.
He does. He does pout. He's like future Washington Wizard Gigi Jackson.
I
Power.
stop, do not want that guy on my
I
team.
was listening to, this is a tangent. I was listening to Bill Simmons, and he was talking about, had his buddy House, who is the Wizards fan, and I've showed you a couple of his takes before.
Mhm.
And he's sitting there with House, and they're looking at the thing, and he's like, "Oh, like who is the biggest whiner and pouter who hates to play basketball in this draft?" And I was sitting at home, and they didn't mention him at all because nobody ever really mentions him because he's gonna go in like the
Yeah.
20s. But I was just sitting there like, Gigi Jackson.
Yep.
That's the guy. That's the guy he's looking for.
He's too young to be a Wizard.
No, that's true. They would
He's
never.
not 23.
He needs to be 24. He's got 6 more years until they trade for him.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh
Speaking
man.
of guys who don't like basketball, we'll get to it later, but Rui has been just
Oh,
awesome
playoff
for the
Rui.
Lakers.
Playoff Rui.
That was like
you
a
call.
joke when I said it too, and he's literally is playoff Rui. The Tatum. All right, so we've covered Tatum. I think tomorrow night we'll say a lot. Hopefully, give us another piece to this puzzle that we're not even halfway complete with
No,
at
I know.
this
We
point in
need
his career.
something.
But the easiest thing to analyze is the coaching.
Mhm.
There's a big gap there,
Yeah.
and that's the clear difference I think from this year and last year.
Let me.
Because we had our concerns about Tatum and Brown last year, and they're more or less the same player. They both had better regular seasons, but playoffs I feel like have been pretty similar. You can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but
Last year or this year?
like they've been similar.
Oh, the 2 years. Yeah.
Like the criticisms that we've had have been pretty similar.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Well, there's Boone making an appearance. Hey, buddy.
Oh, hello, Boone.
But like the fourth quarter meltdowns, I have to put that a lot on coaching. When it's happened like 5 times, I mean the coach has to take some of that blame. And Spoelstra he's a vet. He's like a top 3 coach in the game.
Oh, I think Spoelstra's like maybe Kerr or Popovich, but you're right, top 3. And the difference is there's a real simple, this is from a fan's perspective who, I don't know anything about coaching, but I do know this. When all right, well, actually, let me do it this way. When the Heat, when the Celtics go on, a 7-point run, they'll call a timeout at the 7 points.
Right.
When the Celtics, or when the
That's
Heat,
the Kevin Willard special.
what?
He's great at that.
No, the adjuster.
Timeout to stop
because he's the
bleeding.
adjuster.
He is
and
the chiropractor.
That's what it is. Yeah, the chiropractor. And meanwhile, the Miami Heat will go on a 17-2 run, 19-2 run, 20-2 run, and Joe Mazzulla is nowhere to be seen.
He's the stubborn man who won't go to the doctor.
Exactly. And he's also, and I've seen the quotes, I've seen what he says. He's always like, oh, just like it's on the guys to get this out. Like Marcus Smart was like, all right, like it's like he was like after one of the games, he was like, it's on us, the players, to change it up and fix it, and it's up to Jayson Tatum last night with due to commenting on the criticism of Joe Maz. He's like, oh, Joe Maz isn't the one missing threes out there, and it's like, okay, but you could use a break. Just a breather. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
We've played basketball before.
Yeah.
Like this aspect of the game, we do understand. When you're out there and you're just getting shredded defensively and can't hit a shot, it helps to call a timeout
and
and
just
take a
settle down.
breather, draw up a single play
That's
that
the
you
other
know you're
thing.
going to
The
get a bucket
Celtics
on
do
and set
not
up
have
your
any
defense.
plays. The Celtics have no plays. None. Smart has come out in the playoffs and is like, "Oh, like our offense is really random." Like, yeah, no shit. Like, cause that's why in the fourth quarter when it's a 2-point game, you have nothing to do. Everyone looks like the chicken with the head cut off because they have no plays to run. Like that, and you know, as a basketball fan, as someone who's sitting there just watching on the couch, not a coach, it's not like I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh man, that Miami Heat play 2 seconds ago was
Yeah.
phenomenal. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, the Celtics have no
You can
idea what to do.
you can usually tell when they're running an offense and when they're not running an
Yes.
offense.
Yep.
And in all fairness, the NBA, there's a lot of ISO ball, but
Mhm.
it's bad.
No, and it's
It's
like,
not like it's get the ball to Tatum and clear out of the way. It's just like it's like a pickup game.
yeah. No, it's
And when the
actually,
Heat like switch up their defense, they're clueless.
and it's not only it's like a pickup
Absolutely
game,
clueless.
but it's like a pickup game with people who have never played together before. It's a pickup, like they just played 82 games and 2 series together. How do they not, like, even if Joe Maz is not calling a play, can't you just be like, "Yo, Brown, let me do the thing where I get a screen and you pop out or whatever and
Yeah, right.
call it a day?" It seems like they're not even friends out there. None of them.
So this might be drastically oversimplifying the game of basketball.
Oh yeah,
But
for it.
when you transition from a man to a zone defense, why is it so hard to adjust on offense? Like, don't you have different offenses for
I
the
don't think
different
they
defense?
do.
It's not like
I don't
you
think they
spend
do.
all off season like running pick and rolls and like the offense for a man defense, and then if you see a zone, you're like, well, game over, I guess. Like you have a plan in place, right?
It's literally a
And like I see it
3-2
with Maryland
defense.
all the time. Like Maryland will switch from man to zone, and they'll get like 8 stops in a row. And it's
It's
like, what are they doing on the other side?
it's a 3-2 defense. It's a 3-2 defense. There's 3 people that zone at the bottom, and there's 2 people at top.
Just run a little high low.
And
Bring
like
Horford up to the foul line.
the announcers are like, there's sometimes where they're like, oh, like they're running this little high low thing that works against this defense. Why don't they do it the whole time? Like if they're not going to change defenses.
This is another one where it's like, I I played basketball through high school. Not even like real basketball, but in 7th grade, like we had different plays
Yeah,
for different defenses.
dude, we had
We
plays.
adjusted.
We had plays on our rec team where like like none of us knew how to play basketball, and
Yeah.
that we had plays. And I
So,
just
I don't
and I'm
know. Like, of course, we're simpletons,
yeah,
and
and I'm
these
sure
people are so much smarter than us. But I'd love an answer.
that's
At
all I
least.
want. That's all I want is an answer.
I
Of
mean, that's where this whole thing is converging to.
we
Is we
need
have no
answers.
answers for this stuff.
We need answers. The Boston Celtics, the team of questions. And like
Yeah,
we've
and
now
we may
talked
never get answers.
we have
They
now
could make the
talked.
finals, and we'd still be confused.
Oh, they could win the finals, and I'd be like, I don't know how they just did that.
Like, we still don't know about Tatum.
No. Yeah, we'd be like, can Brown dribble?
Right.
He'd be hosting up to Larry O'Brien and be like, I still don't think they can dribble, so I
No,
I
well,
don't
he
think they
can't.
run any plays.
Right.
And what's the craziest thing, it's now been 42 minutes and 20 seconds. And we have not talked about the Heat at all. We haven't talked about him at all. And it's like the reason why we haven't is because the reason why they're winning is because of all the mistakes that we're talking about with the Celtics. Of course they're playing good basketball, but they are capitalizing on these mistakes, and they have
And that's what good teams do.
yes. That's what
And that's
smart
why the
teams do.
76ers cannot put that series away.
That's why the
Not to
76ers
keep getting digs in, but
That's why the
it's too
76ers
easy.
will never win anything ever.
Conclusion of the episode.
Yeah.
It all comes back to Embiid and Harden just being frauds.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, like, Caleb Martin's not going to score 25 every night.
No, but
Problem
one of
is,
these guys
when he
will.
doesn't, then Gabe Vincent will,
Yes, exactly.
or Struce will, or Kevin Love will.
Or Lowry. He had 0. If they told me Lowry had 0 points, even though he's not even like this big, offensive guy, he's not scoring 30 a
None of
game for
them
them.
are.
No, none of them are. But
They have like no. They don't have a second scorer on the team.
no, it's Bam. Bam has had a good series. Give him
But
that.
he's not like a pure scorer. Like Hero was.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
that's
the
true.
bucket getter,
Mhm.
and he's been out the whole freaking
I feel like
playoffs.
he's coming back. He's gonna have like a robot arm.
Well, I remember us saying the first game he went down, and you're like, he's projected to be back by the finals if they make the finals. And I remember saying verbatim, they won't make them.
No,
Now
exactly.
I'm sitting here
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. No, well, to be
did I miss
fair,
that one?
that was the world was saying that.
Right, yeah.
The
I was
world
not
was
feeling
saying,
no one would.
yeah, no one was picking the
You
Heat
were
for
worried.
this. I was, yeah, I was worried, and that's why I gave myself credit when they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like,
Yeah.
not even that I predicted it, that I was a little bit worried.
And every concern is proven valid through 2 games.
Yeah.
Every single one. The coaching, the Butler factor, the
I think
random
that's the
Joes
worst
just
part.
stepping up and burying you.
Yeah, that's the worst part
The
about it.
Bam finally showing up. It's like,
Oh, Bam's
yeah.
recovery is. I mean, I called him Bam out of beta on this podcast when they lost to the Hawks in the play-in game, and now like they're just, it doesn't matter who's playing for them. If they're in a Miami Heat uniform, one of them will
Yep.
pop off, and they're
Yeah.
all smartly coached. Eric Spoelstra is a goddamn genius, and like as I was gonna, I didn't finish my point. If you told me Lowry, Kevin Love combined for 0, I would have been like, all right, at least we won the game. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think we'd blow them out. I'd be like, at least we won the game. Like, we won by 4 or 5 points, because they couldn't get anything going out of them. But it doesn't. They'll figure out someone else to do it, and that's who they are as a team.
Mm-hmm. Feel good?
It does feel good to get it out.
At least off the chest?
Yeah, it does feel good to get it out. It was all bottled up inside. My head feels lighter. My head feels lighter. Like this was like a 3 what is that? A thread? Yeah, a 3 tweet thread like waiting to happen. And I'm glad it's not. It's not on there.
This is why we do it.
Yeah. Yep. Get it out there. All right. You want to go to the Western Conference?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. Let's talk about the Nuggets. Not the Lakers. Everyone's talking about the Lakers 0-2, and I guess we just did that whole thing for the Celtics. But that's my team. It's a little different.
Yeah, no, it's different.
Let's talk about that.
We're nepotists.
Yeah. We love our own teams.
We prioritize our own.
Exactly. Well, you gotta look out. You gotta look out for your own.
Yeah. That's right.
The Nuggets, they are up 2-0 in the Western Conference Finals, and they had an excellent fourth quarter by Jamal Murray. Another great game by Nikola Jokic. Even when he can't score it late in the game, it still affects the game. 17 rebounds, 12 assists. God, 17 rebounds against like Anthony Davis
with ease.
Oh yeah, and by like halftime. Both games.
Oh well, the first game was, it was like, would he have 30 and 30?
Yeah.
This game was like a little less dominant, but still, I mean, he's probably the most impactful player in the playoffs right now.
Oh, he's proving that he should have gotten the MVP.
He's just doing like victory laps.
Yeah, exactly.
Around Embiid right now.
And the best part is he didn't care at the end of the regular season. Clearly, he was resting games. He wasn't really playing defense. And now it's just like, yeah, everyone who voted for Embiid, have fun looking like an idiot.
Yeah, right.
Here's everything. And both these games, I gotta say though, it was shocking that the Lakers were able to like make this a game in both of these games. It felt like.
Well,
I guess
game
not
one,
game two, not game two, but game one. Yeah.
Yeah, game one. I mean, Jokic was amazing, but in the fourth quarter, they slowed him down a lot, and Anthony Davis had 40 points.
Yeah, remember in game
could not miss.
Remember
and
in game
kept
one,
getting close, and every play was a foul too.
Oh
The
yeah.
Lakers were just for like 3 minutes straight. The Lakers were at the line every single possession, which got a little bit ridiculous. But I'm not gonna complain about the refs.
The best
But
part
it
about
turns
game
out like
one.
when you slow down Jokic, it's easy to come back.
Oh, and everyone and all the Lakers fans taking their moral victory laps. They're like, "Oh, well, we figured out Rui Hachimura on Jokic. It's over. Like, get ready, Nuggets. The series is done because Rui Hachimura came to town and he's ready to play."
When Jamal Murray scores 37, though, it doesn't matter.
No,
And that's like what this team has. It appears that finally they have a guy who can step up
hmm
when Jokic isn't dominant, and he was dominant, just not offensively. But
yeah,
he
not in the
impacted the game in
fourth.
so many other ways that, like, even when he's not getting a bucket every time off the floor, he's gonna create space and he's gonna make the right pass 99% of the time. And when Murray hits his shots, and when Porter hits his shots, they're hard to beat.
Yeah, they are. And I like. Have you been seeing the Jamal Murray and some of the other Nuggets like quotes after the games?
Mm-mm.
He he came out. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be real sweet when all these because everyone's talking about the Lakers being down 2-0 instead of the Nuggets being up 2-0.
Yeah,
He's like, "Oh, it's just gonna make it even sweeter when we win the finals." And I looked at him after that, and I was like, "I believe you."
yeah, I do
Yeah,
too. I'm all in on the Nuggets.
oh, I am too. I think even if the Celtics do pull this out, man, I will be rooting for them, of course. But I think they're gonna get swamped
Yeah,
by the Nuggets. So game
they
three,
deserve it. They've
yeah,
put
they
in
do.
the years of being mocked for being the one seed and not going anywhere.
Well, and years of like they're like the Jazz, where years of just nobody
Yeah, no
cares.
one gives a shit.
No, you're the like Jokic won back to back MVPs, and we're like, oh, like this little fat European shouldn't have won two MVPs.
They just post the kid picture. And it's
Yeah.
like, look at this fatty.
Yes. Like, look at this fat European that won the league MVP. Like everyone point and laugh.
Not my MVP.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This is not the NBA.
No, and then this year it's like, oh, you're racist if you pick Jokic. Oh
Yeah,
man.
that got a little bit ridiculous. But so I am like, there's nothing about the Nuggets that deters me from rooting for them, other than seeing LeBron go on another Finals run would be cool. But they deserve it. And I'm not like I don't want to give them the title yet. They're up 2-0, only
Yeah,
2-0, and both those games were really close.
and both in Denver, has to be said.
Yeah.
So I do got to say, after last night or 2 nights ago, game two, I do, and I love LeBron. I'm a LeBron guy. He's great. He's the GOAT. But like, you're really gonna fall into the first row of the stands? Like, what the hell was that? Like everyone posted video because someone spilled some soda on him. Actually, no, he knocked into the guy, and the guy the guy dropped his cup because LeBron James was flying at him after getting fouled or pushed on the foul line. He flew from the foul line to the first
Him,
row.
him and Anthony Davis are ridiculous when they
Oh,
go down.
yeah.
The other night when he got like poked in the eye,
Oh,
and
it's yeah.
he might as well have been having a stroke. Like he was just on the ground, like this.
If he ever gets hit in the face, it's like you at least have 3 minutes of him on the floor, and like holding his face, rolling around. Like I didn't know this was soccer, guys. Come on,
It's embarrassing.
it is embarrassing,
It really
and
is.
it's embarrassing for the league too. Like this is your franchise.
Yeah,
This is your league player. This is LeBron James. He can't be out there holding his face and trying to.
And
get
this is one of
calls.
the times where you can actually be like, Michael Jordan would never,
Yeah, no.
because he would not.
Yeah.
And
do-
I don't like. I always think that that's a joke when people say it, but in this case, it's
Well, speaking of that joke, LeBron goes up for a dunk, misses the dunk, loses
yeah,
control
that was
in the air.
also a tough scene.
That was a tough scene. And
He has not been impressive through 2 games.
no, he hasn't hit a three.
Three
He's
is
shooting
bad.
0% from three. Pretty bad.
Not great. It's like Austin Reeves is like the guy now. At the end of game one, he's getting every look.
Oh, and he should have gotten
which
more
is good for
looks.
them and good for him. He's
He
knocking
should
him down.
he should have gotten more looks. He should have been out there. He is the third best player on this team. And it's not close.
Yeah, really.
Playoff Rui. Forgot about playoff
Yeah.
Rui. Uh playoff Rui. Actually wait, let me finish the meme comparison.
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan, they're like, "Oh, my goat would never." And then like all the comments of the tweet is just a video of Michael Jordan missing a dunk because he dropped it. You want to talk about Rui?
He's been great. And like the stuff on Jokic, he's an impactful player. And he had over 20 last night, didn't he? Or two
Yeah,
nights ago?
21. 21.
I don't
He
know. Maybe
virtually had
he's
the
like a
same
change of
game,
scenery
both teams.
guy. I mean, the Wizards are just like they take good players and they just destroy their will to play basketball. Porzingis, you didn't have to because he already was kind of a dud. Beal, like he just wants to hit shots.
Beal just wants
Doesn't really care
money.
about anything
He's
else.
got the money.
Yeah. So maybe he just needed a change of scenery. Maybe he loves to play with LeBron. Maybe it speaks to LeBron as a teammate and a leader.
I want to
He's been able
know.
to get this much out of Rui. I don't know, but I'm happy for him, but it's frustrating.
I want to know what we said because I remember when they traded for Rui, we were like, he's not really a shooter. Like we need shooters around LeBron.
Yeah.
But he's lanky, he's versatile, plays good defense, and I think that's got to go like in the GOAT debate. Part of it needs to be like, look at Rui Hachimura. Like, come on now. Like, look at Rui. Look at Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Schroeder. He's been able to revive, and he had a bad game last
Not
game.
D'Lo.
No, D'Lo.
Not D'Lo.
D'Lo is my favorite player to hate. It's so much fun to hate on D'Lo because he sucks. He's so bad.
He's so bad.
And the best is just like, it's like, oh, when the lights get brighter, these guys shrink. Like he becomes Ant-Man. Like this guy's like that big when the light comes on, and they need to bench him. D'Angelo Russell needs
like
he
12
does not
minutes
need
a
to
game
play. Yeah,
in the first half.
He played 33 minutes last game. That cannot happen again.
Not okay.
And I know you got to replace him with like Schroeder or Rui Hachimura or Lonnie Walker, but you got to do it. He's booty.
He's a liability.
He is. Well, I saw a quote. I don't know what Nuggets player, but it was after game 1, and they're like, what was the game plan on facing this Lakers defense, which has been pretty good recently? Because we just went at D'Angelo Russell. We just made sure that our best player was going at D'Angelo Russell every time. And I looked there and I was like, yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think Murray versus him it's not a matchup that is very beneficial for the Lakers at all.
Not at all. I guess game already started. 7-7, 9-7.
Okay. Lakers were big favorites tonight. Like 6 points.
In LA. They also haven't lost in LA. The only team to lose at home is the goddamn Celtics. But
6 times.
5 times.
Actually.
5 times.
Sorry.
So since it's a tie game right now, we can still make a prediction. What do you think needs to happen, and who do you think is going to take it?
I think the Lakers take it tonight.
Yeah, I can't
think
see
there's
it taking
way too much, way too big of a sense of urgency. Because we said like we're giving them all this crap and we're crowning the Nuggets already. But we said before the series started that it wouldn't be that big of a deal if the Nuggets went up at 2-0.
No, because it needs to the series doesn't start until the home team loses. So can we make a new does the series end once the home team loses 2 games in a row? Can we just end the series?
Nah, you gotta play the whole thing.
It's gotta be swept. They gotta be swept. Anyways, yeah, no, I think the Lakers take this one, and I see if the Nuggets are gonna take any one of these games in LA, it's gonna be game 4 or 6, and I see this going Lakers.
Yep. Yeah, I need to. I mean, they're like LeBron is still LeBron. He has not been great through 2 games, but throughout these playoffs, he's been awesome.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
and
the AD is like it's just up, down, up, down, up,
it's
down.
every other day. Every other day.
45 points where it's like 13.
A day to day. That's his name. Just every other day. And like honestly,
So he'll have a 30 bomb tonight at least
on
with
those
like
off
6
days,
block shots.
if you're Darvin Ham, you just like, nah, let's just like not play him today.
Just throw Vanderbilt out there.
Yeah, like don't let him get injured, because God forbid on one of his off days, that's one of the days that he never gets hurt when he's going off. He always gets hurt when he's
I know.
So that's and speaking of Darvin Ham and the coach, surprisingly good coach.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah,
beginning
you
of the
gotta give him
year,
credit.
yeah,
It's hard to be LeBron's coach.
oh yeah, and that's the other thing. He controls the rest of the team, but he doesn't control LeBron. Like LeBron,
Yeah.
and LeBron's always done this. You know, he subs himself in, subs himself out. But like Darvin Ham's like, all right, cool. Like a lot of coaches,
Yeah.
they try to fight back. You know, try to do shit like that.
But
There's-
I think also LeBron maybe deserves some credit for not being as much of like a tyrant as he has been in the past.
yeah,
Because it
I
seems
can see
like they
that.
kind of like that it's not all LeBron run. That
No,
maybe the coach is like actually making the substitutions.
and I think it's because he likes his teammates.
Yeah,
Like he
they're a good group.
yeah, they like each other. They are a good group. The best thing on Twitter yesterday or 2 days ago was all I don't know if they're Laker fans. I don't know who the hell is posting this. Clipper fans, but it's just pictures of Russell Westbrook. Miss me? Miss me at Lakers?
No.
Like, yeah, no. And sure, if you look at what you got Vanderbilt, Russell, and Beasley, who Beasley hasn't played at all. But
Mhm.
and you could be like, oh, basically just Russell for Westbrook. It's actually just getting Westbrook out of the building.
Right.
That was the dub. And I know
Yeah.
I liked Vanderbilt. He hasn't had a good series since the first round. And I liked Beasley when they traded for him, but he hasn't
Mhm.
played at all. And Russell, you know, he's hit or miss, and we've talked about him. But just getting Russ out of there. It's not
Yes.
ever they're never gonna miss him. I don't think LeBron will
No,
ever miss
not at
Russell
all.
Westbrook. All right. Want to wrap this up?
Yeah,
That was pretty.
that's a good breakdown of that series, I think.
Yeah, no, and I don't want to get too much into it more because it's literally currently going on. So by the time this is
Yeah.
uploaded, it could be old news.
Right.
So thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed my heartbreak of my Celtics. And you know, thank you all for listening. We'll see everybody Tuesday. And
Yep.
go Celtics. Bleed green, baby.